Hello students. So now today we will continue from the previous programs. In the previous lecture we considered the programs which were related to the writing mathematical expressions in C statements, and we also saw how automatic type conversion takes place and how we can do typecasting explicitly. Okay, so in this lecture we will continue some more programs. So first let us see program to display the size of different data types. Okay, so we will come on uh, code blocks. So I will save this file as data type dot c. Okay, data type dot c, and this program we will use, we will see how various data types are stored and how much space they require. Okay, so basic data types are integer, so I am taking integer a, character b, and float c. Okay, I also told you when we were studying operators that there is an operator called size of operator. Okay, so let us use that. So we want to print %d, %3 integers we want to print. Okay, and we want to print size of a, size of b. It looks like function but it is a operator. Size of c. Okay, now it should give some output and we want to see what is the output of integer a, character b, and float c. Okay, let us compile this. It is compiling properly. Let us run this. Okay, so the answer is 4, 1 and 4. Okay, so the answer given was 4, 1 and 4. So integer a takes size 4, float also taking size 4, and similarly character taking size 4. Okay, and since it is number of, it is unsigned also. Okay, the size is always unsigned, so we can also use %u, because %d is for integers and %u is for unsigned numbers. Although since the answer is very small, so %u and %d does not make any difference, but yes, you can remember that we can use both of them. Okay, now if I put it as long int, okay, then what happens? Let us see the difference. If it is long int, so you can see uh, for long int the size is 4 only. Okay, so size remains same with long int also, fine. And if I put it as, instead of float, I take it as double. Okay, now let us see the size. So double, for double the size is 8 bytes. Okay, so whatever written here is 418, it is the number of bytes. Okay, so in this way, here in some of the books you will find that integer is 2 bytes and long int is 4 bytes, but when you are doing this programming, we are doing this programming in GCC. For that particular C programming standard, the size of integer and long int is 4. Okay, now what about short int? Okay, okay, so the short int is 2 bytes. Okay, so this makes the difference. So this is the program for showing the various data types, sizes of various data types. Okay, now let us take next program, which is about printing the ASCII value of a character. Okay, so I will create a new file and I will save it as ASCII .c. Okay, I already have a file. Let us see if that also belongs to the same thing. Okay, so this is the program to print ASCII values and the corresponding characters. Okay, so what we are going to do, we just initialize an integer. Okay, so this is from loop. Okay, so I will make a simpler program for that. Hash include, let us save it as ASCII 1.c. Okay, so I will include file as stdio. Fine, then I will write void main. Okay, then I will declare a character ch. Okay, and ch, and I will initialize it as, I guess, capital A. Okay, now I want to print the ASCII value. So carefully look this. If I print it with the help of %c ch, this is the normal printf function. So it is going to print the character A. Okay, it is going to print the character A. Fine, but if I change this %c to %d, it means we want to print the character value, the integer equivalent of to the character value. Okay, because this tells the printing format. So the printing format has to be integer, but the value is in character. So there is a conversion of this character to integer, and which is according to ASCII values. Okay, so you can remember some ASCII values, and when we do loop, I will get you all at printed ASCII values. Okay, before that we will do this random ASCII value check. Okay, now let us do this. Here we can see that the value, ASCII value of capital A is 65. Fine, so similarly if I do this as capital B and I print it, then it has to be 65, then 66. Okay, so this is continuous number that we are getting. And if I print capital Z, okay, so for capital Z it is 90. Okay, so what does it means? It means that capital A to Z, A to Z is 65 to 90. Fine, this is the first thing that we are able to note. Now small a, let us see small a. Small a is 97. Okay, small a is 97 and small z is 122. Okay, so small a to z is 97 to 122. Okay, now what more characters are useful? Others are also useful, but let us see first the 0. Okay, this 0 is not this is 0 as an integer constant, but this is a character 0. Okay, this is not to be considered as 0 number, but it is character 0. Okay, now let us see what is ASCII value. Its ASCII value is 48. Okay, so you have to remember this, that the 0 itself, 0 to 9 जो digit है, they have the ASCII values 48 to 57. Let us print 0 से start है and 9 is the last digit, and if I run it, it has to be 57. Okay, so this is 57. So 48 to 57 is ASCII values of 0 to 9. Okay, so at least you have to remember these things. Okay, now let us see what about other symbols. If I use question mark, so the question mark also has some ASCII values. Fine, so 63 is the ASCII value of the question mark. If I use dollar sign or ampersand sign is, it has ASCII value 38. Okay, so any character that is available on the keyboard has a ASCII equivalent in the form of integer. Okay, so you have to always remember that all the characters are integer convertible, and integers from 0 to 255 are character convertible. Okay, because character requires only 1 byte. Okay, 1 byte means 8 bits, and 8 bits means 256 different values, and the number goes from 0 to 255. Okay, so the smallest character can be 0 and the biggest character can be 255, but character is what? 0 to 55 is not a character. These are the integer equivalent of the characters. Okay, so for everyone from 0 to 255, like between them there is 65 to 90, 0 to 255, उनके बीच में क्या है? 65 to 90, they stands for capital A to Z. Then we have 97 to 122, this stands for small a to Z, and similarly it goes like that. Okay, so in this way you can print character integer equivalent to the characters. But if you want to print normal character value, then you can simply use %c, and when you will do this, gives you ampersand not 63 or whatever the value was. Okay, and in the integer format, this gives you not ampersand, it gives you 38. Okay, so you can remember some of the values which are important that I have already written. These at least you should remember. Okay, now let us see the next program, calculating the percentage of 5 subjects. Okay, so this program, it should not be a big task for you. If I do this, I save it, and percentage dot c, then include what we will do. Our objective is to take 5 input of 5 subjects, input of 5 subjects marks out of 100, and percentage we will calculate. Okay, and percentage we will calculate for the total only. Okay, so void main, then we have uh, suppose I take marks in integers, so integer s1, s2, s3, s4 and s5. Okay, so I have 5 subjects. Okay, then if marks are in integer, then I take total is also in integer, but the percentage will be in, percentage will be in the float, because percentage cannot be exact number. Okay, so in this way we decide the data type of the various data required for this particular purpose. Okay, now I can print the instruction for the user to enter the marks. Okay, so it will enter from 1 to 5, so I can also give it indication 1 to 5, he has to enter. So I will scan them in the form of %d, 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 and %d. So I have taken 5%d. Why 5%d? Because I require 5 marks. Okay, and these belong to ampersand s1. Okay, fine. So s5, s4, s3 and s2. Okay, so these 5% d will take integer values, and they will store these integer values into these 5 addresses. Okay, now after scanning, what we want to do, we want to bring the total s1, s2, s3, s4 and s5. Okay, this will give you the total, and then we will find percentage. So how the percentage is calculated? Okay, total there are 5 subjects, and we are expecting that the marks are from 100, so t divided by 500. Okay, this is the first, and multiplied by 100. Okay, now tell me what will be the problem. Okay, now let us run this program for a time being. Okay, so you will find that there is a small mistake, and I hope if you have watched the previous video, then you will definitely find the mistake over here. So there is, I hope, no error in the program. So it is started, it is asking for the marks. Okay, so how I am going to enter marks out of 100? Suppose I enter 67, then I have to press enter, then I will add suppose 68 second subject marks, then I will press enter. Okay, then again 68 I have given, then 45, then I can take 89. So in this way 5 subjects marks are there, but you can see nothing is printed. Okay, so nothing is printed, so we have to print the percentage. Okay, so the percentage is percent f. Why percent f? Because we want to print p. Okay, and p is in floating point. Okay, so percent f will be there. Now let us run it again. Fine, so 45, 67, 78, 89, 90. Okay, the percentage is 0. Okay, so now there is a problem that you have to cover, because total is correct. I guess total is correct, na? You can also print total. If you want to make some checks, you can print total also. Let us see what is the total over here. Everything you can print in new line, so you will get idea that total marks are right. So let us do this again, let us run it again. 45, 56, 67, 78, 89. Okay, so total is coming correct. And if I use calculator, so 335 divide by 500 should give a percentage. एक मिनट, 335 divided by 500 divided by 500 is giving you 67 percentage. Okay, now 67 percentage has to be the answer, but the answer is coming 0. Why it is 0? You can simply see that I am dividing integer by integer. The value of t is 335, and when it is divided by 500, because both of them are integers, so answer is also an integer, and since 335 is less than 500, so the answer of this expression becomes 0, and when it multiplied by 100 it also gives 0. So what we have to do, we have to typecast here and make this t as a floating point value. What we have done, we have done typecasting. Okay, automatically it was going for type conversion, fine, but we have to do the type casting. Okay, now let us run it now and see whether it makes a difference or not. Okay, so 45, 50, 67, 78, 89, and now you can see that 335 are the total marks and the percentage is 67. Okay, so this is the program for calculating the percentage. The thing that you have to remember, the important thing is this, that you have to uh, do the typecasting properly to get the right answer, otherwise you will not be able to get the right answer. Okay, so this goes like that. Fine, let us see what is our next program. Now we want to convert temperature of Celsius into Fahrenheit. Okay, and we also have, I have also written the formula. Okay, so that you don't go or panic for the formula at least, but you can Google and check out also any formula, but that is a different thing. But we are now learning how to write it. Okay, so now I will create another file, that is temperature. Let us take this file. Okay, now temperature.c file is there with us. We will simply include stdio, then I will take void main. Fine, then so what I require for this particular problem, we require c, and that will be converted into float. Okay, so that will be converted into Fahrenheit. Okay, so float c, and I take f for Fahrenheit. Fine, so you can take input from the user, printf percent f comma, sorry, printf, inside printf let us print one message for the user, enter the temperature in Celsius. Okay, fine. Now to scan it, we require %f. Why %f? Because C is in C is in floating point. Okay, now in this way we will get the temperature input. Now how, what is the formula of F? F equals to C into 9 by 5. So we have to write this formula very correctly. C into 9, C into 9 divided by 5. Okay, so C into 9 divided by 5 plus 32. Okay, now this is the formula for this. So what will happen? C will be multiplied by 9 or 9 will be divided by 5. Okay, so this is decided by the operator precedence. Okay, the division has the higher precedence over the multiplication. So first this will be evaluated, and then the result of this will be evaluated as this. Okay, now there is a twist. Since this is in floating point and these are in integer points, okay, so the result of this particular would be in integer. Okay, so let us see what is the result and if it is coming proper or not. So uh, let us see, uh, 0. Okay, so I want to print temperature in Fahrenheit is percent F, and I want to use F for it. Fine. So C into 9 by 5. Okay. So the problem you can understand, right? So let us run it. If I enter 32 degrees centigrade, so the temperature it is giving is 89.6. Okay, 89.6 for 32 degree. Okay, and if I give C as 0, C as 0, it is giving 32. Okay, so let us see if it gives any, this placing this parenthesis gives any difference in the answer. For 32 degree, answer is 64. Now the answer is coming as proper 64. Why 64? Because see, I have given 32, this is giving answer 1, and this is becoming 32 plus 32, that is 64. Now if I don't place this and give input as 32, then again this is giving 89.59. So what is happening? C is getting multiplied by 9, so it is giving you a floating point value, and then it is giving you floating point value. Okay, so anyhow, if you do like this, then it is giving the right value, but if you do as this, so you have to place a explicit typecasting for the purpose to convert it. Okay, now let us see whether it is giving right answer or not. For 32 degree, 9.59888. Okay, so this is the right expression. Okay, and this is also right if you want to write like this. Yeah, so this is also a right expression. Fine. Okay, so this brings the temperature conversion to Celsius. Okay, now we will do the last exercise of this particular series, that read an integer n and print the first three powers of n. Okay, first three powers of n. So I will create a new file, and then power, I will write it as power.c, and if I create the file hash include stdio dot h. Then I will take void main. Now you can I hope you are remembering this, that this much program is essential to write. Okay, now what is given, read an integer n. So I require an integer n to be read, and I can read it in the way scanf %d comma ampersand n. Okay, in this way we can read this integer. Now what we want to print first three powers. Okay, now printf, now see this carefully, that first three integer power, any power of integer is always integer. Okay, so I want to print 3, so I can write over here also n2. Okay, we will take n square and all है ना, so n2 n3, sorry, n3 and n4. Okay, let us print these powers. Okay, now what will come here? Okay, so this n power is done with the help of POW function. Okay, and this POW function, we will see that this POW function, how it works. You will take n and the power is 2. Okay, so the PO function has two parameters. The parameter one is the base, and the second parameter is the exponent. Okay, so if you want to get n square, so you will write n, and since square is the power of 2, so that is written like this. So n cube, how we are going to write n cube? POW n cube. Okay, and then POW. Okay, then n4. Okay, between the two parameters, comma is the separator. Okay, so this is a new thing that I have told you. I have just demonstrated that inside printf you can place any expression or any function also. Okay, so the output of the function will be directly printed in this format. Okay, so here in printf any expression can also run. Fine, so let us see whether this program works or fails. What happens? So there is a warning. Fine, and if I give 6, then n square is 0, n raised to power 3 is very high, and then this is n raised to power 4 is again 0. Okay, so the answer is not useful for us. Fine, so we have to see what mistake we have done to going this. Okay, so first we have to see why the warning was there. Okay, include math.h or provide a declaration of POW. Okay, so what happened, the POW is in this library. Okay, POW is in a library which is called math.h. Okay, it has all the mathematical functions implemented here. We have used a mathematical function which is used for calculating the power, and similarly like cosine, sine, thetas, tangents, all those functions are available. Trigonometry functions, everything is available in math.h. Okay, so now let us see whether it gives you the right answer or not. Okay, so if I give you input 6, now you can see again the answer is not correct. Fine, so why the answer is not correct, we have to see this, that why the answer is not correct. So we will check that what the error is there. So n square percent d. Okay, percent d. Now an important thing to note, that in math.h, fine, we can see that what is the definition of this. So you can click, right click, and find the declaration of POW. Now this math.h file is opened by the code blocks, okay, and you can see here that this POW function is there, and it takes the input in the double format, and it also return in the double format. So this is the problem that is coming here. We are assuming that this thing is returning integer. Instead of that, it is returning double. For double, the format specifier is LF, that is long float. Long float is double. Okay, so if we take LF and then we will take n raised to power 2, n raised to power 3, n raised to power 4, then it should work now. Okay, now let us see what is this for 6. You can see that 6, 216 and 1296. Okay, so now the answer is coming right. So it is important to know what is the function input parameters and how what is the return data type. Okay, so this is an important thing to note. Okay, and if you want to do completely in integer, then you can also take three more integer a comma b comma c, suppose, and you can simply write a equals to POW, suppose you write n comma 2 here. Okay, and then print a, b and c. Okay, so this is another method that you can use for implementation. Okay, so this is the program for getting the power of n square. Okay, now if I do such thing, uh, let us do an experiment. uh, I take an integer a, just make a twist on this program, and I estimate power function a, and power I take 10. Okay, this 10 power, or I believe it would not require. Okay, okay, so let us take it 10. Fine. Now if I run it, no, I have to print it also, no, just let us print it also, n raised to power uh, n raised to power 10 we want to print, and let us print it also as percent d. Now I will print as percent d, and I will take it as a. Okay, now let us do whether it gives you right answer or not. Okay, I am printing power of 2. Okay, so 2, 4, 8, 16, and let us see that n raised to power 10 is not correct for us. Okay, so n raised to power 10 is not giving you the right answer, because a, sorry, n raised to power 10. Now the answer would be right actually. So if I take power of 10, so n raised to power 10 is 1024. Okay, now let us increase the power, n raised to power 32. Okay, do you know n raised to power 32 is what? 32 bits integer. Okay, so let us see what is n raised to power 32. So 2, n raised to power 32 is again going out. Okay, so 2 raised to power 32 is coming like this. Okay, 2 raised to power 32. Okay, and if I want to get 2 raised to power 32, fine. So 2 raised to power 32 is this. Let us calculate 2 raised to power 16. This would be a familiar number for you, because 2 raised to power 16 is 65536. Okay, so from the textbooks we read about this, that this is the limit of the number of integers. Okay, but that was 2 byte integers. Now for GCC it is 4 byte integer, so 4 byte means 32 bits. Okay, so that is why these many integers can be there. Okay, so if I do this and write 2, so you can see that the number of integers that can be used In GCC, the R is this. Okay, how many of these are there? This is something 21 crore 47 lakh. No, it is 214 crore 74 lakhs and 83,000 something. Okay, now let us observe one more thing. If I do n raised to power 33, okay, now see, n raised to power 33 is not changing the answer. Okay, so is it the same answer that was available earlier? Okay, now n raised to power 32, or do it plus 3. Okay, let us do this. This is another expression. Okay, so n raised to power 214748368. Okay, so it is not changing the value as percent d. Okay, so in this way we can create various things. Fine. So this is our program for estimation of powers of n. We have taken 3 powers of n. Okay, so that is all for today's lecture. We will start with decision making in the next lecture. Okay, till then what you have to do, you have to practice all these programs. Okay, and make them on compiler and keep the output safe. Okay,